freezing ice, it could be storm outages. There's just a whole lot of things that nature throws at us, and the last thing we want to worry about is, do we have food to eat when we've lost our electricity or when we're in a true emergency? And that's why millions and millions and millions of people have turned to Wise Food to make sure that they're ready when that emergency happens. You know, I think a lot of us in Florida who went through the hurricanes last year, there's so many people who said, oh my gosh, I wish I would have when I could have. Don't be that person, because when you're in the middle of emergency, that is the worst time to have to worry about, oh my gosh, what are we gonna eat? Or you always see the news stories of all the shelves being cleared out of milk and water and bread and all that. Don't be that person ever again. And tonight, Wise Foods is gonna solve that because it is our best value of the day. I recommend it to everyone I know. We have 4 buckets in our house, and there's 2 of us in my house because we want to help others if they're in need in emergency as well. All right, so what do we do with this one? This is really cool this year. What we've done is, you get the famous bucket, you get an immense amount of servings, which we'll get into all the details, but here's what we did for the very first time. Everybody loves what we usually sell separately, which is the vegetables and the fruits and some of the puddings. Well, we actually have now included these in this special configuration. And this is a really, really big deal, because for last year's hurricane season, I bought a water straw. So literally, we could drink out of our pool if we have to. I'm that ready, right? The straw cost about $80, and it was just a straw you got to suck out of it. Wise has now, for the first time in years, included the water filtration bottle that is really high end, because you'll find other filtration bottles and what they'll say is they only do certain things. Wait till you see what this does, and it's over 100 gallons that it will clean for you and make basically puddle water drinkable water. Amazing, right? This is the first time we've included it with the bucket configuration, so there's a lot of good stuff in this today's special. Well, we've got a lot to tell you, of course. There's a lot to get into. And of course, I'm going to be joined by Stephanie. Oh, by 100, like, look at this. I'll just prove it to you. Just here at HSN, over 630,000 Wise products have been sold here. So we're talking millions and millions of people trust their lives. Literally, Stephanie, if you think about it, millions of people worldwide trust their lives and their family's health to Wise Food.
Absolutely.
It's a big deal.
It is a big deal. It's been a big deal for us here. And this is an American company. This is all made in the United States. Everything that you ask for and order tonight and tomorrow literally leaves the warehouse within 48 hours. It is freshly made. It is waiting, because it's that important for Wise and all of us really to be ready for what's to come. I am so excited about this configuration because it's completely different than anything we've done before. The concept of Wise Food is that no matter what's happening in your life, you have to eat. So Wise makes it possible for you to have great tasting food ready at any moment. All you do is add water, no cooking is required, and it has a long shelf life. So that means whether you're dealing with a power outage, whether you've had to have an evacuation, whether you're camping, this is recreational as well. This is great tasting food that you can grab and go. I do like to start by talking a little bit about how Wise Food is made, because this is what really sets Wise Food apart from anything you have ever thought about emergency food. I know what you did. You heard the words emergency food and thought, ew, gross. Erase that from your mind. This is actually called gourmet emergency food, because the first thing that happens in the Wise factory is that they employ chefs. These are chef-inspired recipes. They have the perfect blend of spices. They have real food ingredients. They're not amped up with carbs. They're not full of artificial flavors and chemicals. It is real food. What makes Wise so special is the ability for these packages to last. They are packaged in what's called a modified atmospheric package. Now, what's that mean to you? Wise has figured out this technology that because of their packaging, they can seal out humidity, they can seal out moisture, they can seal out oxygen. These are all things that make food go bad. In this pouch, those great tasting flavors are safe for up to 25 years. I know it sounds crazy. It's all about the pouch, and that's what makes Wise different. But I do like to talk about the fact that it's gourmet emergency food.
It's very good.
I know you have done this over and over again. This is the beef stroganoff.
Yes.
So I'll beg you to take a bite.
Hold one just a second.
Hold, I will hold.
Because I'm on Facebook, and we're doing Facebook Live every night at midnight and throughout the day now. What I really love about it is you can do shout outs. I'll say hi to you, but I really love to ask Stephanie questions. We've gotten so many cool questions at midnight. Some things we'll certainly get to, but if you have a question question about this, please go on Facebook. And I just want to say, Sandy says she likes this. Yes, it is good. Gabby, who's one of our single gals on the crew tonight, she looked at me and she said, I really should probably get this. And I said, Gabby, oh my gosh, you live in Florida. Yes, I mean, I think everybody should have it, but for those of us who are Texas and Louisiana and Florida and all those states that are affected by hurricane weather, and then you've got tornadoes out in the Midwest, you know, my home state of Ohio, tons of bad weather up there. You've got winter issues for everybody up in the up states, you know. There's always something going on, unfortunately, everywhere. I mean, think about poor Hawaii. Who would have thunk you'd be out because you got lava flowing through your streets? I mean, it's just crazy, weird stuff, but be ready and be prepared. And we love, if you have Wise as well already, please go to Facebook. We're doing it live together, so I'm reading your comments, and I'd love to hear why you picked it up. And more importantly, what made you do it? What was that moment? Was it, oh my gosh, I survived something and I'll never be without it? Or are you being proactive and doing it beforehand? So I'd love you to chat with me on Facebook if you can.
The stories are amazingly heartwarming because you realize that Wise is there when you need it most. Okay, we're going to talk about what you get in this offer. I love the diversity. 124 total servings. That includes 5 lunch and dinner style entrees, you know, your heartier foods that you can truly use as a meal. It also includes 2 breakfast style entrees, the hot cereals. Then there's the ability to make whey milk, which is so important in many ways. We will talk about that. 2 desserts, because come on, dessert is always important. Yogurt and chocolate pudding, which by the way is an HSN exclusive. I think the host demanded chocolate. That's my personal opinion. But here's what makes this offer different than anything we've ever done before. 2 different kind of fruits in the grab-and-go bucket. 2 different types of vegetables, never before included here at HSN.
And those have always been sold separately.
Yes.
The only way you could get it was sold separately, and you can't get anywhere else. And we get the water bottle. We haven't even told you how supreme that water bottle. If you just got it for the water bottle, it's almost worth it. It's huge.
Sure, because that's such a game changer.
If you're camping, hiking, that's just for regular everyday life, let alone getting the buck with all the food.
Exactly.
Okay, so really quickly, I just want to say, Abby says, love this, super handy, of course. Tina says, hello. Frank says, hey, great product. Chris says, this is awesome. Definitely a great value. And Chris, I want to add to that. If you go to Wise's website right now, you can get, it's 52 servings. Listen to this, for $89. 52 for $89. We're at 120, what, 4? For $99.95. So we've actually more than doubled it, and clearly we're only $10 more than what the 52 servings are. I just wanted to share that, Chris, because you're absolutely right. It is a phenomenal value tonight, and it's a big deal, and I'm glad you recognize that, so thank you. All right,
okay,
so I shall eat.
Lots to get to.
You got to put it on my iPad.
All right, we'll serve it on the iPad.
It's like a little serving
I think that's okay.
I'm going to.
I'm sure we do this at my house, and I don't know it.
I'm running out of hands.
I understand. So I want Suzanne to take a bite of the stroganoff and talk to me about texture and seasoning.
It's so good.
Texture good?
Oh, yeah.
Because, you know, that's one of those things when you do, quote unquote, instant
dried food.
Yeah, it gets slimy, funky. We're all,
or really grainy. Like you're like,
any
really
of the above is not okay.
Kind of gagging it down. No, it actually tastes like the real thing. Like if someone didn't tell me, I would not know this wasn't from somebody's kitchen.
And that's what Wise prides itself upon, that the chefs have figured out how to season and how to make the textures so that this tastes like stroganoff. I've made stroganoff from scratch. There's a million ingredients in it. You have to whip the sour cream just right, or it, you know, gets all curdy in the sauce. They've figured out how to do it just by adding water. So here's what I need you to understand about everything we're going to make. Yes, you see our pots sitting on burners. The only reason that we are heating up the water is just to speed up the process. If I was in a true emergency situation, I could take a pot with water, as long as I know it is potable, safe to drink, and we can solve that problem for you too. All I do is add the food to the water. That is it. So this does not have to cook. It does not have to be hot water. If the water's room temperature, might take 15 minutes for something like these beans to reconstitute. If the water's warm, it's gonna take a little bit closer to 5 to 8 minutes. So all the warmth of the water does is speed up the reconstituting of the food. It doesn't need to cook. And that is a huge difference between Wise and other of the quote-unquote emergency foods on the market. A lot of them need to cook.
Right.
I don't want a food that has to cook if I'm in a situation where I don't have any heat, I don't have any power, I don't have a gas burner. The only thing you need is water. Now, let's talk about water. Coming to you in this offer, is the one I want to show, is the water bottle. This is a water filtration bottle. So this bottle is 28 ounces. It has the ability to filter 100 gallons of water with each filter. The filters are removable. We also have the filters as an upsell, additional filters that you can pick up. But you get
one with our unit.
But you get one. The big deal about this is
that page.
Exactly. By having this micro filtration system bottle, any contaminants that would be in your drinking water due to maybe the system is shut down. You see on the TV news during disasters, not safe to drink, don't cook with it. Guess what? When you have a microfiltration system, you can make your drinking water safe. Those are the contaminants it's taking out. Those are the chemicals it's taking out. Those are the dissolved solids it is taking out. This is the first time that we have offered a water filtration bottle within our grab-and-go bucket. What I love about this so much, this is truly everything you need. You've got not just the good tasting meals, but now you've got vegetables. Now you've got fruits. Now you've got ability to make safe water.
But think about this, a lot of times when you grab and go, it's emergency, you gotta get in the car. We had lines, you know, people lined up on the highways forever and ever and ever. You have to grab the bucket and you have to grab a whole bunch of water and put it in your car. Now it doesn't matter. Any water you have around you, even a puddle, you actually can use it through this filtration system and cook with it and drink it. So now that's actually one less thing you have to drag around with you and worry about, is especially when they sell it off all the water.
It was the hardest thing to find. Obviously, I'm well stocked with my survival kit. We did go through a hurricane here in Florida last year. It was water. I went to 6 different stores. You know, I have some, but I just kept thinking it's not enough. What if it's not enough? Because you need water to make the food. So this solves the problem. Had our municipal system gone down, I would be able to get safe, potable water through this filtration bottle. So I want to show you. I'm going to have you hold this for me, and we'll let them decide where they're going to get a good shot of it. In this bottle right now, it's dirt, like literal potting dirt. So it's nasty.
Mulchy dirt.
Mulchy, muddy, nasty dirt. Watch what the filtration system can do for me.
Isn't that crazy?
And it is coming out crystal clear. Now, obviously, it comes out better when you're actually drinking it and there's the suction through the straw.
You drink it?
But you can, I will drink it, absolutely. Okay, so here's the bud.
Drink it. How's it taste?
Sure, tastes like water. Tastes perfectly fine.
Look
at the bottle,
dirt, guys. It's packed with dirt too, by the way.
I don't really want to think about what's in it since I'm now drinking it, but you know what? I trust it. Thank you for calling me out on that.
I totally did.
You drink it.
Yeah, you think it's that good? You're gonna drink it. You know what? I gotta get to some great comments too. We'll keep cooking here. Shoshana said this would be awesome back during Hurricane Sandy, especially living on the water. You are absolutely right, for sure. This is Kaija. I hope I said it right. It's very important to be prepared for a disaster, and this is a great way to start. Martin, God bless you. He says, I can totally use this in Afghanistan. He said, the food sucks here. So Martin, if you're there with the military, which I'm making an assumption because I don't know, thank you for what you do for us.
Absolutely.
And yes, you're absolutely right. It would be good.
It is not MRE food, let me tell you that.
It's totally not MRE.
Totally
and
not.
I actually sent this to my son because I knew he wasn't eating proper at school. And I thought, well, at least he can eat a little better. And it took him nothing to make it. So for me as a busy mom and him as a busy kid, I was like, well, at least we eat something decent. Also, Ben said, I love this. Ben said, would these be good for scouting troops to bring along on campouts?
Absolutely. So we are, of course, making this a preparedness event to bring this to you. But in terms of the rest of the year, when hopefully you're not dealing with emergency situations, think about it. It's a pouch. It's lightweight. It is a full meal. It is shelf stable. You can throw it in your backpack. You can throw it in your packing roll for your camping trips. You can take it up the mountain if you're hiking, if you're camping, if you're heading out in the boat. All you need to do is add water. Now, if you're camping and you're a Boy Scout and you have the ability to make a fire and make the water hot, you probably will think they taste a little bit better heated. Most meals do. But the bottom line is, if you don't have the ability to make a fire, if it's pouring down rain, these are my camping memories, it's pouring down rain, you can't make the fire, and you still need to eat, guess what? It'll be just fine. Great for camping.
Good question, Ben. Lynn says, I buy this at least twice a year and add to my collection for emergency supplies. Good idea, Lynn. You're so smart and so prepared. Alice said, do you have vegan or a gluten-free kind?
You know what? Not in this offering, but if you go to the Wise website, and I believe hsn.com also should have some, there are gluten-free options.
Okay, Sharon says, I love Wise. We buy try to be prepared, but I've tried it. It's great. It's a great price. Thank you. Kelly says, oh, what are the type of desserts?
Oh, well, let's talk about desserts. So the 2 desserts included, one of them is right in front of me, are vanilla yogurt, and the other one is chocolate pudding. And I'm glad we brought up chocolate pudding because that is something that we can make right here. And Suzanne's like, bring out the chocolate.
I found it down here, too.
She's going to eat. I want to show you, though, this all has to do with the consistency of Wise's food. Absolutely everything. Whether I'm talking about creamy pasta rotini, and we will go over all these dishes in a minute.
So good.
She just dug right into the sample. Or whether I'm working with pudding. I want to show you how well made this is so the consistency comes together. So if you make pudding, if you make the instant pudding at home, you have to beat it with a high quality beater to get the lumps out. If you make it on the stove, you have to stir and stir and stir. Watch how quickly this is coming together. Not a lump to be seen. The creamy consistency will be there. And just so Suzanne knows that we didn't cheat on the sample one she just ate, you're gonna get another spoonful out of this.
Okay.
Just so you can see. But the point of this is those
I knew you wouldn't cheat.
Yeah, that's all right. Those wise chefs, when they put together these recipes, are so concerned with consistency, are so concerned with flavor, are so bent on having this taste exactly like it would if it were homemade.
It's so true.
Yeah.
Like, you really won't tell the difference. If you shut your eyes and you put down a homemade one and this version, you'd have a very difficult time telling the difference between the two.
Absolutely.
All right, so we have she asked a question that she says, Kathy says, so once you cook the meal and there's any leftovers, how do you preserve the leftovers without electricity? Well, think about this. You don't have to use the whole packet at once.
Right.
So the packet's gonna stay nice and fresh. Just close up the packet. Just use what you need. So you don't have to worry about leftovers, right?
Yeah,
would you recommend that?
I would. I would definitely not recommend making the entire pouch and then trying to keep it shelf
stable. It's a lot of servings.
It is. So, and that's something else that we should talk about. When we talk about 124 servings, I'm going to do a little dividing like it's a pie here. This would be a 4-serving pouch. Look at the expanse of what we are considering 1 serving. And that's important to me that you know that. So when we say you're getting 124 servings,
that quarter, that
whole
big quarter is 1 serving.
You're not getting a little 1/4 cup, 3 bites of food serving. This is 124 meaty, substantial, filling servings. And that's what Wise is all about.
Doris, dairy-free option, check hsn.com.
Yes, check hsn.com and the Wise website. There are dairy-free options out there.
Such good questions. Let's see. Not gonna get that. Oh, she's saying, it's a good question. Hi, Andrea from Boca. How are we supposed to cook with no electricity? I bought a kit last year. Saw the video. She's cooking on a flat glass stove, not used an item in Florida unless you grill or have a generator sitting around.
I know exactly what she's asking. You don't have to heat the water.
Don't heat the water.
All you need is water. Yes, we're sitting on a burner because I'm trying to speed these up a little bit for you. They reconstitute more quickly when the water is warm, but you do not have to heat your water. So in a true emergency situation, don't worry about it. These are gonna be good to go. Do we have a second to take a look at all the different varieties of food?
Oh, sure, yeah,
okay,
absolutely.
let's do that from above
wait,
if
let me
we
get
can. Oh, yeah, here comes the spoonful of the test of the chocolate pudding. 3 minutes?
Good.
All right, 3 minutes of effort and she's good to go. All right, so with 124 servings, we have 5 different really meal-type entrees. The lunch and dinner, stick-to-your-ribs, hearty kind of entrees. The savory stroganoff, and this is one that we've already made live here for you. Creamy, the right consistency for the noodles. You can see the large pieces of the mushrooms and the spicing in there because, again, this isn't just some bland, creamy white dish. This is meant to be stroganoff with levels of flavor. Next to the stroganoff, you'll see the apple cinnamon oatmeal. That is one of the 2 breakfast entrees that is included. 4 servings there. Big old servings of the barbecued beans. I gotta tell you, I have a pot of these going here, waiting for them to reconstitute.
That just makes you feel good.
Oh,
you know,
and the smell coming out of these. I mean, again, this is not a bland bag of beans. These are seasoned so that, you know, beans, they stick with you and they fill you up, and they're a great source of protein. This is not like opening a can of beans and not recognizing the first 15 ingredients because they're chemicals and preservatives. This is the real deal. Okay, vegetables. This is the first time we've ever included 2 fruits and 2 vegetables in our grab-and-go kit. What this means to me is that if I'm in a situation where I can't get produce, I can't get to the store, I've had to evacuate, you know, situations like the extreme flooding, and there's been evacuations all week in Colorado because of the wildfires. Thousands of people left their homes. You can feed your family complete meals. You're not just getting by with this bucket. complete meals, fruits, vegetables, those are the peas that are included, and they also come with the sauce.
And the water. That water bottle's huge, you guys. If you can look at an outdoor camping store, or you go to like an outdoor catalog where they're looking for water filtration systems, they're very expensive. I bought a straw that was like $89 for my husband because he had to ride out the hurricane down here. I thought, well, he can suck the pool water. I really did. No, I really did.
It's a good thought.
I thought,
you have to have water.
It's a straw, and you got to get down in there and do that. And it was very expensive, but I wanted to be able to purify the water completely. You're getting that included with this, which is amazing. And you saw that list of all the benefits and what it will clean. All right, so we have a call. Is Janice still there? Did I lose her? Oh, I'm sorry, Janice, honey.
Janice, we apologize.
I love this. Lisa, she says, hello from Ohio. My husband and I have 2 of these. He's always thinking ahead. We also have water stored. Also got to love him for thinking of us. Absolutely. And I think for husbands, wives, moms, dad, grandparents, whoever, yourself, it's a sense of real security. Like, you don't have to ever think about it. We bought our Wise years ago. It's 25-year shelf life. We bought ours when we first launched it, and I've never had to worry about it again. And it's such a relief. There's such a sense of security knowing that I don't have to run to the store and be like all the crazy people in line trying to grab the last bottles of water, trying to grab the last bags of milk.
And it's peace of mind in knowing that once you make the decision to fill out your preparedness kit with food, that it'll always be there for you. I mean, think about all the other things that you prepare for. We have to have car insurance, right? I mean, that's required most of the point because just in case. We have medical insurance, just in case. I bet you have homeowners insurance to protect your home if there's a storm, but what are you doing for food insurance? Basically, I look at this as food insurance no matter what happens. There were 2 tornadoes that touched down, now confirmed, I just read from National Weather Service, in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania yesterday. That is a pretty unusual location to have 2 tornadoes in June.
Wow.
Right now, Colorado is dealing with the raging fires. We know about the volcanoes in Hawaii. They called the hurricane floods in Houston last year a generation experience flood, meaning something like that only happens once in generations. You know, stuff happens. That's what the bottom line of all this is. We are in the midst of the heart of tornado season. We are heading into the heart of hurricane and storm season. Already had our first named storm in the Atlantic. I believe they're on their second in the Pacific. The point of the matter is every single year storms happen. Will they happen where you are this year? I hope not. But if they do, whether it's this year, next year, 10 years from now, 25 years from now. You bring the survival food, you bring the emergency food into your home, and you've checked it off the list. You don't have to keep checking it off year after year. What I love is that we do have repeat customers. In fact, my kids were so funny. They asked me tonight, well, Mom, you've kind of done this a few times. Is there anybody that hasn't bought it yet? And I thought, you know what, that is a great question, because I hope there isn't anybody that hasn't bought it yet, because that's why we're here, is to help you prepare. But what we've learned is that you may bring some camping, because it does taste great and it is easy to take for recreational purposes, or you may be having a night where you've got a splitting headache and you've worked all day and the kids are dying for dinner and you think, you know what, tomato basil soup would be exactly what everybody could eat tonight. Aren't those gorgeous?
Oh my gosh. By the way, speaking of that though, Nellie says on Facebook, I like this because I'm disabled and I can't always cook, so it's very convenient for me to have on hand.
Good point.
Thank you, Nellie. That's another really good example. My son wasn't eating good food at all, so I sent him a pack to college and I said, eat it. And it came out to, what was it? Like we were thinking like $1 a meal or something like
80
cents a meal. A serving. That's right. That's not even a whole meal. That's a serving, which is a good size, right? And I thought, wow, that's the most inexpensive way for him to eat at school. That's for sure.
And it's real food. You know, that is what I can't say enough. These are real flavors with real food. We took a pretty good tour of the first table. I want to do it again down here on our second table. Remember, 5 different lunch and dinner entrees, 2 breakfast cereals. Right now, you're looking at the pasta Alfredo. This is another one of the favorites within the Wise collection. What you see in front of you is 4 complete servings. What you see in the pan that I'm stirring is one that I literally put water in less than 5 minutes ago. You can already see how nice this has thickened up into exactly the consistency that I would want a pasta dish to be. I'm getting these to reconstitute in about 5 minutes because I'm using warm water. In an emergency, you have room temperature water, you have ice cold water, whatever. It works, it tastes just fine, it just takes a little longer.
Blanca, real quick, it's 25 years shelf life, 25 years. That's pretty crazy, right? All right, let's say hi to Gail in Kentucky. She's on with us live. Hi, Gail, thanks for joining us.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm so glad that your program is on tonight. I've been fortunate to catch it for the last 2 or 3 years, and I've ordered a number of times, you know, and I've been real satisfied with the products.
Oh, good, good. Now, why do you order it?
Well, you know, for years I've been into canning and freezing and food drying, but you know, so I've always tried to think of things that I can do to help, you know, get the family through during the winter months and so on. But, you know, with the way things have been coming as far as flooding and natural disasters and everything else, it has me really concerned, as it does, I'm sure, a lot of other people out there.
Well, you're very smart to prepare, Gail, because here's the thing. By the time that flood gets to your street, should it ever happen, then it's too late.
Right.
Then you can't get to the food, and you can't get what your family needs. So I love that you're thinking ahead.
That's smart.
Well, you know, like I said, I've been through a tornado and I've been through a hurricane, and it makes you, it's an eye-opening experience, you know.
Sure is.
But I want to plug one other thing. You got a facial bottle in with this, the 124 serving package, and I can't say enough positive things about the facial product. You know, the bottle. I have ordered some of these bottles before, and so to get that in with the bucket of food is a great buy.
Yeah, it's huge, isn't it?
I paid $25 a bottle, which was cheap, you know, when I ordered them before.
That's exactly right. And a lot of those bottles that are inexpensive, that say they filter the water, don't filter. There's different levels of filtration. And so a lot of the inexpensive ones are really not good filtrators, unfortunately.
That's right.
Well, thank you, Gail. It was wonderful chatting with you. I appreciate you sharing the story. This is a bigger deal than you even imagine.
Yep.
Also, too, think about it. If you're just spending a ton of money on bottled water just to drink pure water, even if you just use it, it's 100 gallons. If you use this every day just for your everyday water, do you know how much you'd save, how much money you'd save over bottled water? And you're going to get purer water than most likely that bottled stuff you're buying. All right, we do have extra filters for this. You get one, that's 100 gallons. We have a 2-pack of additional filters that are available. And we also have accessory pieces, which we're going to walk over there right now and show. There's the extra filters. You get one included with our configuration. We've not done one in a long time, and it's the very first time we've ever added it to the bucket version. And so it's just huge that we've added that to our collection this year. Now, we do have extra items, and we're going to go back to the today's special in just a second, but let's go through some of the accessory pieces, if you will.
Absolutely. So we call these our kits at Wise. We have a fruit kit, a vegetable kit, and a protein kit. And I want to start by saying the popularity of these is why we have put the fruits and vegetables in our today's special, because these sell out all the time. So we recognize that you want these, but you could still get more because this is much more expansive than just what's coming in the today's special. This is our fruit kit. Everything you see, everything in these Wise pouches still has that 25-year shelf life. That includes the fruits, that includes the vegetables, that includes the meat. I know that's very hard to wrap your head around. That is how amazing these pouches are. So the type of fruits coming to you: peaches, bananas, strawberries, and apples. I have to tell you, these are the most highly snackable and amazing fruits that you will ever find. You can use them in their basically dried grab-and-go steak. You can also rehydrate them. You can bake with them. You can honestly do whatever you want to with them. But this is a way to get real fruit. I love it when occasionally someone new will come up and try a strawberry and say, oh my gosh, that tastes just like a strawberry. These are the real deal. This is the fruit, and it is freeze-dried and shelf-stable for up to 25 years. By the way, you get vanilla pudding and yogurt with that as well. Okay, so here's our protein kit. I like this if you have a bigger family. I have 4 teenage boys, so when I take something that says it serves 4 people, probably serves 1 or 2 teenage boys. If you add protein, it stretches the meals. So if you have a big family, you can add any of these proteins from the protein kit to any existing Wise entree, and instead of feeding 4 people, maybe it'll feed 6 servings. So you kind of understand how that works with stretching it.
It's a booster.
It's a booster, right? That's how we look at it. at it at my house. But the protein kit itself will stand alone. You get different types of beef, different types of chicken, and it also comes with rice. So if you just wanted maybe a simple thing to keep in maybe a second kit, I've heard of people keeping also emergency kits at work. What if you're stuck at work? I'll tell you what, here we'd be fine, but in most offices you'd be stuck with that vending machine and hungry within an hour or two. So keeping a kit at work is a great way to pull some things out of the kit or just keep some of the proteins there.
And just so you'll know, what you're seeing in front is not the full amount. We don't have enough room on the table to show you how much this all makes. So remember, all the kits we're showing you, this is just a sample example. It's much bigger when you get it at home.
In fact, this is 1 pouch worth of food, and you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 pouches.
Right.
So you're getting tons and tons.
You know, add
the
what,
value.
8 more plates.
Exactly.
You know, so that's a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, we have veggies and we got to get to eggs real quick.
Okay, yes, veggies too. That's peas, broccoli, beans, and corn. Snackable just as they are dry, or you can reconstitute into a side dish. It comes with sauces. People like these for hiking and hunting and camping, that quick carb boost when you just need a little something for energy. Powdered eggs, very interesting concept that I absolutely love. You can use them as is to make scrambled eggs. You can use them powdered to bake, and we'll come back and do this a little bit more later. But I want to mention that these are resealable pouches, so that if I open one and I just take out a little bit to make my brownies because maybe I haven't gotten eggs this week, or maybe I am out of power and I don't have safe eggs, or whatever the reason is, you can open these, you can use what you need, and you can seal them back up. So you do not have to use the dozens and dozens of eggs
And
all
in the
at once.
eggs, they always sell out, and there's only 900 for the whole day.
Oh, wow.
So if you want those eggs, great. We're also going to say hi to Elizabeth in Washington as we're moving. Hi, Elizabeth. Welcome. You're on with Stephanie and
ladies.
Suzanne.
Hello.
Hi. Thanks for joining us.
Well, I am back for another one. This is my 9th order of your wonderful product. I can't say enough complimentary things about it. And I liked what you said about having them at work, but also it's good to have that in your emergency kit in your car along with some water. So
absolutely.
If you get stranded in traffic, can't get home for dinner, or other things happen,
that's a great idea.
You're covered there too.
Yeah, you know, that's smart because it might not be a natural disaster. It could be you're just stuck.
Exactly. That happens a lot these days with all the cars.
It's crazy, isn't it? Yeah. Well, what has been your...
I like that... Oh, I'm sorry.
I was just going to ask you, what do you think about the quality?
Oh, the quality is wonderful. It tastes delicious, and it's great hot, or if you have to do it cold, it processes up just as well cold as it does hot. The convenience factor, I like it for traveling and camping because it is lightweight, and it really is for... all that you get, it really is cost-effective and really, to me, the best price on the market for the other things that I've purchased in the past. And I've also got the meat, the vegetables, and the fruit. Now, I hate bananas with a purple-eyed passion, and I thought, okay, this will be the marker of how good this dehydrated fruit is. If I can try one of these bananas, I actually ate one. It was really, really good.
That's because they're not gushy like real bananas. They're nice and firm, freeze-dried.
Yes.
Well, Elizabeth, if someone's watching, would you recommend this to somebody else?
Oh, definitely, because I've given these as gifts. Yeah. And people are just, they sort of look at it like, what? Until you explain what it is, because most people aren't prepared like we need all to be.
Completely agree. Well, Elizabeth, thank you.
Thank you for your time, ladies. Have a great rest of your evening.
You too. Okay, funny note, Andrea says, I didn't get a bottled water last year, not fair. Sorry, Andrea. You can get it with this one.
You can get it today.
Ben said this would be great for camping trips. Yolanda said, how long is storage good for? Basically, it's 25 years. So the shelf life for this kit, we got to slow down on that, I guess, because I'm getting a bunch of questions, is 25 years. And I think people, maybe you heard it once, you're like, that can't be. Yeah, that's how good and the quality of this is.
And think about places that you could store it. Slide it under the bed. You don't have to keep it in the big bin. I keep mine on the top shelf of my pantry. It's there anytime I need it. Any cool, dry place. These pouches will seal out heat, moisture, oxygen, humidity, all the stuff that spoils food for up to 25 years. It is all about the pouch.
Also, Jimmy says, I ordered this in the past and love it. He also said this is an awesome value. This is so important to have. Thank you for bringing this to us. You're very welcome. And thank you for being a customer, Jimmy. Christina says, I got 2 of one of these. I've got 2 for my stash and 1 for my mom.
Oh, that's a good idea.
You have an interesting story about a semi-relative. Are you willing to share
yes,
it?
I will share my side.
Okay.
I do? Oh, yes, I do. So when we were going through Hurricane Irma here in South Florida last year, I was working, honestly, and that happens, and we were all busy preparing and doing our things, and my husband called, and he says, I need to get one of these, and I need to send it to my ex-wife. And I thought, well, aren't you nice? Actually, but okay, nice person that I am. I said, okay, but just asking why. Well, because if this storm comes on Tuesday or Wednesday, the boys are gonna be with her. And I wanna know that the boys have what they need, and I wanna make sure and take care of that. And I thought, you know what? That's how important this is.
That makes sense.
Relationships don't matter. Nothing matters.
Doesn't.
When you're in an emergency situation, the basics are what matter.
Right.
The reason we do this is because we want to help you cover those basics. So many people really just don't. You've heard it. Everybody talks about it. I heard it for years and didn't do it until I knew about Wise. You just have to know that your family has something to eat for at least 3 days, no matter what happens. For 124 servings, let's talk about what that means
can we
for
put
a family.
up the stats on the length of time or how long it's going to feed people?
How many people it feeds?
Yeah, how many it feeds? Because I think, no, not that one. It's going to be another one.
That's all right. I'll start
Okay,
talking
thanks,
you through
guys.
it while we find it for you. So 124 servings is enough for one person for 2 weeks. So a family of 2, then, it's enough food for 1 week. Now, let me say, that is just the main dinner entrees and the breakfast foods. That doesn't even count the fruits, the vegetables, the sauces, the desserts, and also the whey milk, which we haven't talked about. So 2 servings a day of, hearty, stick-to-your-rib kind of meals for a week for 2 people or 2 weeks for one person.
And read the fine print, guys. It's 2 servings per day with 92 additional drink, fruit, veggies, dessert, sauces included. So so you talk about the 2 servings and the length of time, then add 92 more servings to that.
Yes,
right?
so you're getting a great value.
That's just huge.
And once you do it, it's there for good. All right, one we didn't talk about as we were going down this table is my absolute favorite.
Put it on my serving
I was on
platter.
the serving pad. It is the, which makes me nervous on your glass screen. That is the creamy vegetable pasta rotini. I think all of us over the years have found our favorites. That is my personal favorite.
It's so good.
It's so creamy, and it's got the right consistency of the curly noodles. And look closely. I hate to stare at your spoon, but we're gonna. We've got the carrots, we've got the peas, we've got the the vegetable consistency that you want. It's not just called vegetable rotini and then there isn't any. I mean, the stuff is in there. Again, Wise has put these together with the recipes of exactly how these foods are intended to be, and then through technology, able to make them shelf stable for my pouches.
Hang on, girl, I got another one. This is huge. Okay. This is Ruby and says, hi, everyone. I work emergency management. This is important, Ruby. Thank you. She said, or he said, please understand the filter cup is not your replacement for having a minimum of 3 gallons of water per person per day. The filter should be a fail-safe option, not a water replacement. Well, okay.
Yeah, meaning if you can't get to the 3 gallons to filter them, you still have to be able to have water. I can understand that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I think if nothing else, it just undermines the importance of safe water. And by having that filter with you in this offer, you know that anytime you find the water, you'll be able to make it potable, and you'll be able to cook with it.
And also, Ruby, I love it, but isn't it important for everybody to have food at home? I mean, I appreciate the water information, that's great, but I'd be more interested in how you guys recommend people prepare for emergencies, and food is so crucial. So if you want to write back and note that, I'd love what you guys recommend to wherever you're in emergency management. That would be very interesting.
FEMA's recommendation is 72 hours or 3 days of food per person.
Lois says, good evening, what do you recommend for a family size of 7?
Okay, well, a family size of 7, if we want to do a week of food, we would need, I would say, at least 3 buckets, because we're looking at 2 people for 1 week. So I multiplied that times 3, and then I got to 6 people. I guess it depends how old they are, how much they eat, but I would certainly go with 3 buckets to get to 6. If you're worried about 7, you might even want to go to a 4th.
Okay, and then Kelly said, after asking about desserts, I called and ordered it. Thank you so very much. Thank you, Kelly. This is Peggy. Since I live in Seattle, we have earthquakes. I decided, oh, there you go. go to make an emergency kit. Yeah, of course. We don't talk about earthquakes very often. I only have Wise Food because it's American made. I got a filtered bottle years ago, which I did too, Peggy, with the Wise package that I bought from HSN. Thank you for making the product so affordable. Well, we appreciate you, and yes, we're thankful that Wise does such an amazing kit. And this is exclusive. I guess I haven't gotten into that much, but this is completely exclusive to you shopping with us. If you go to the Wise website right now, you can get a kit that only has 52 servings for, and that is $89.99. So 52 servings, almost $90. We're at $99.95 and 124 servings, not even counting the water filtration bottle that's included. So obviously, again, really important value. But you know what? The nice thing about having it is you never have to think about it again. We've not opened, well, I did open a couple of them just to eat them, but basically our 4 buckets just sit there, and they sit there and they actually collect dust in a closet, and that's okay. But when something happens, and last year was such a huge wake-up call. It's the first time I'd gone through a serious hurricane issue here in Florida. It was like, I just kept thinking, thank God, literally, that I had those in there, because now the first thing we worry about, oh my gosh, everybody's safe? What are we going to eat, is the last thing we have to worry about. So just check it off your list. You might have seen this presentation 100 million times and you still go, no, I'll wait. But you know what you know? You don't know. You don't know. If it's too late, it's too late. So be ready, be for those unexpected things, because waiting until it's too late is too late.
Well, in 2017 was a huge wake-up call for so many people. But the problem is, when they got the call, it was too late. When those floods come down your street, you can't get the food. You have to have the kit now. You have to get prepared ahead of time. If it seems silly, you know, you're like, oh, really, I'm gonna have to store food. It's not silly when it happens. So the definition of preparedness is essentially getting ready. The definition of preparedness when it's happening to you is, do I have what I need to survive? It becomes a very, very different scenario. And you know, we don't like to harp too much on, you know, the negative and the scary part of it, but honestly, it's reality. And lately, with the weather doing what the weather does, something new every day, different place, I think we all know it's reality. So I have stopped looking at this as, oh, I'm prepared, I've got some cans in my, you know, pantry and I'm good. No, I'm not. What am I actually going to do if and when that scary stuff that we see shows up?
Do cans last 25 years in your pantry?
Read the expiration date.
Does beans, do rice last 25 years? And when do they start getting the little bugs that kind of fly out?
They're not in the shelf stable.
Right.
Gross, but you're exactly right.
It's totally right.
Exactly
I mean, because if you're a preparedness person, you know those things you've tried before, and they don't have the shelf life that this has. All right, here's another question. Again, where can I get more filters? Melissa, you can buy the extra water filters from us. There's a set of 2 if you'd like to pick them up, and you can get those tonight. Also, thanks, guys. And my producer, Rick, there you go, Melissa. So there's the extra water filters. They each do 100 gallons. And we've had some questions about the filters, again, about how efficient they are. Okay. If you guys don't mind. Oh, here's the water bottle if you want to buy that separately.
An extra water bottle.
It's an extra water. You'll get one with filter. Yeah, can you show the filtering quality? Because there are different levels of filtration quality out there. There's lower levels that only filter some stuff, and then it gets more complicated.
Right. So this is the official list of what is being filtered out. It has the aesthetic contaminants, you know, when it tastes bad, it smells bad. In our case, we're literally taking dirt out of the water. I'll show you in a minute. But it is also filtering out chlorine, detergents, pesticides. You know, when you're having any type of emergency situation, we've all seen before where they run a crawl on the news that says, you know, you must boil your drinking water, or it's not safe to consume the water. What this is doing is filtering out those things that normally your municipal water system would be filtering out. So rather than having to boil water, which doesn't work if you don't have power and you can't boil water, you know, now you can take the tap water, you can filter it through here, and it makes this potable and safe to drink, and then safe to use for your Wise foods. If you can see closely, this water is black. That is not the color of the bottle. It is a clear water bottle. We have put dirt, mulch, and all sorts of nasty things in it. But when I go down and I squeeze the bottle, you can see what's coming out of there is crystal clear, which I absolutely love. And Suzanne called me on it the first time, and I think it's a great idea. She says, will you drink this? Absolutely, I will. What's it taste like? Water, just like it's supposed to.
It's honestly,
it came from mud.
There's some white stuff floating in there. I'm not even sure what that is. They're like
fortunately, it's not floating
in here.
in there.
Because
that's what a great job this bottle does. This bottle being added, a huge deal for us.
Melissa says, I bought several and thankfully have not had to use them yet, which we're all thankful for if you don't have to use them.
Absolutely.
She said she lives in Charleston, South Carolina. It makes me feel better knowing I'm prepared. It is, there's such a sense of relief and you don't understand it. You know, you don't understand when it's sitting there in a closet and you don't even have to think about it. And then all of a sudden, if something happens, you go, oh my gosh, I don't have to run to the store. I don't have to stand in line. Yep. I don't have to fight for that last thing of water. I don't have to cry and grab some soup or the last eggs or the last bread. You just sit there. Like when we were getting ready for the hurricane, we didn't have to run to the store and do all that crazy stuff. We didn't
knew
go.
You had it. And that's why I like the family member story. You know, if that's funny where my husband buying it for his ex-wife. Sure. He now knows that his kids have food, whether they're with him and us or whether they're with their other family for 25 years. You give it to your elderly parents. You give it to your children. Even if your son isn't using it for daily nutrition at college, they have storms there too. Right, sure. You know, I mean,
sure, tornadoes come through and hurricanes
Are our kids prepared? Are our parents prepared? You know, it just opens up a really amazing conversation about what we need to do for ourselves, for our family members. And oh, by the way, it tastes great. It lasts for 25 years. And on a random Thursday night when you're tired and trying to figure out dinner, I would serve up this tomato basil soup absolutely any day of the week.
And here's something Blanca said, this is great. My son is autistic and extremely sensitive with textures, and I have this in my car, and there's lots of times when he wants me to make them. He loves them.
Oh, I love that.
That is such a cool compliment. Thanks. All right, so I tried to get to a lot of your questions. We got to wrap things up. Just want to show you, here's the kit. If you go onto Weiss's website right now, you can get 52 servings for $89.99. We have 124 at $99.95 with the water filtration bottle, which includes the filter. Free shipping tonight, and we have 5 flex pays. If you don't have this, I would highly encourage you get it because it really is a game changer, especially in those emergency situations. Okay, a couple things I want to show you. Now, we're not going to have time to show you this, but this sells out every time we do it. We actually have the Survival to Go backpack. There's only 700 left. That's it. And this is wonderful because it's a 5-day survival backpack for one person. So what you might want to do is say, okay, I'm going to get one of these for each of my family members, and then they could all carry their own backpack and have it in there. Also, it's great for camping, great for hiking, too. It's a really nice backpack that comes with it. But only 700 available, so that's very limited. Hey, I just want to mention something else. A lot of times what happens when you run out of electricity is you got a grill, but imagine if you could use propane. Well, this is a great way, whether you're camping and using Wise or it happens to be an emergency, that you can get a really hot cooking surface, and it's from Blackstone. It's the portable grill, it's a gas griddle, and it has the adapter hose included. We have a special configuration on that. We wanted to point it out because it is something that would be handy if you were in an emergency, or if you just want a great griddle at home all, you know, barbecue season. It's a phenomenal product. All right, we're gonna come back. We're gonna tell you about the accessory items that go along with our Wise Food Kit in just a second, but check this out. We have more happening here at HSN.
Hey, have you heard about the buzz on hsn.com? It's the one place you can find everything from current fashion trends, delicious recipes, how-tos, and so much more. Dive into must-read articles about your favorite topics and get inspired with stunning photos. Search the buzz on hsn.com right now.
My singular goal is to improve the quality of people's lives. Everything we do is intended to be unlike any other company of our kind. We just make exceptional vitamins so you could have exceptional health. It's not important that you get the products I'm offering, but it's very important that you get the information I'm sharing, because information is the key to being a healthy person.
Don't miss a thing with our HSN app, available on Apple and Android devices. Get $10 off your first in-app purchase with code WELCOME10. Opt in to push notifications for early access to exclusive app-only deals. Shop faster than ever with exclusive new product videos, only on the iPhone. Watch HSN Live anytime, any place. And the new Shop and Search features make finding your favorites easier than ever. Search app on hsn.com to download.
Who knew a little piece of plastic could be so much fun? When you apply for the HSN card, instantly get $10 off. It's all about you. Extra flex on the things you love. When you use your HSN card, get extra flex all day, every day on all jewelry, beauty, and fashion purchases. Plus VIP financing, VIP easy returns, exclusive offers, all with no annual fee. Apply now. Call 1-800-695-1418 or search HSN card at hsn.com.
You're watching HSN. We kicked off a brand new special from Wise Food. And Ruby, we had Ruby we made a comment. She's in an emergency management position. And I asked Ruby back on the air if she would say, I said, well, what about, she was talking about water. And I said, well, what about food? What are your requirements? And what do they suggest? And she wrote me back. So thank you, Ruby. And here's what she said. She said, yes, the FEMA requires a minimum of 3 days food is suggested. But she says, realize that's the bare minimum, 3 days. She says, Wise Foods helps to address the important issues of balanced nutrition, variety, and longevity of shelf life. So thank you. Ruby, I really appreciate you getting back to me because obviously you're in that business of emergency management. And thank you so much for providing that answer for us. I really do appreciate that. A couple people said, a gal wanted to know if we should rotate the food.
You don't have to, no. 25 years shelf life, but it matters where you keep it. You said you had a question about that.
Yeah, you can put it in the car in the summer.
Well, you can keep it in your car, but not in the summer heat. This needs to be stored in a cool, dry place. So when we talk about car security, I usually look at that for more the winter months, you know, when you're sliding off the road and could get stuck.
Oh, right,
good point. In the summer months, you have to watch the heat because it does need to be kept cool and dry. In the pantry, under the bed, not like in the garage in the summer, in an interior closet.
You don't put it in the attic in the summer. That's not good,
cool and dry, or it will not last 25 years.
Stacy, there's gluten and dairy intolerant. You can check hsn.com or check the Wise Food site or website. They also offer that as well. How do we cook an emergency if we don't have any electricity? You can use cold water.
Cold water works.
Or just whatever water.
Any water.
We give you the water bottle to help filter the bottle for the first time in a very long time in this special bucket. All right, so we're gonna go over this again. These are, well, I kind of like to say are support characters.
Sure.
And they always sell out way before the today's special.
Yep,
So
additional things you can add. The fruits are very popular. There are 4 different types of fruits in our fruit kit: strawberries, bananas, peaches, and apples. These aren't things that look like fruits. These are the real deal. I love these in the summer for snacking for kids. My kids eat all day long right now. I want them to choose healthy. I can't always be around to cut up the strawberries or the apples or whatever. And these are the real deal, and they're so much better than those things they call fruit snacks because there's no fruit in those. So these are great for camping. You can't go hiking with bananas on your back. I mean, all that kind of thing. We use these a lot recreationally, but also they still have the 25-year shelf life. So if you want to put them in your survival kit to ensure that you have produce, great idea. Remember, the other big thing about this today's special that makes it different, 2 types of fruit and 2 types of vegetables are included because that's how popular these are. First time, I know, I love listening to your feedback. So this is our protein kit. It is a great way to add more chicken, add more beef to any existing Wise meal. You'll know if you've got big eaters at home, more protein helps them stay full. But these also work as standalone meals. It comes with the rice, it comes with the meat, it even comes with some sauces. So you could certainly make a meal out of this if you needed to have a quote-unquote sub-emergency kit or a smaller kit maybe for a family member. You just wanted to know that they had something to eat for 3 days, which is the bare minimum. These would certainly work for that as well.
And it's real meat and real veggies in there.
Absolutely.
And I just want to mention too, you get like 10 bags with this.
Yes.
We're showing you only 3 bags. So we can't put everything out on the set. I just want to know it makes a whole lot more than just these 3. And this is a huge platter, by the way.
Yeah, that's a big serving.
It's a big platter.
That'll feed a crew. And then of course there's the vegetable kit. Our hikers and campers also like these. This is great pick-me-up energy if you're a hiker. So you can either eat these as is in their freeze-dried form. They're very snackable, or you can reconstitute them into a more standard side dish with broccoli, peas, beans, and corn, also coming with some sauces. But again, to have a fresh vegetable and have one that has the nutrients and everything you need, no matter what the situation.
And it hasn't been stripped of its nutrients because of their drying process.
Flash freeze.
Ken in Nevada, thank you for joining us. You're on with Stacy and Suzanne, or Stephanie and Suzanne, sorry. Hi, Ken.
Hi.
Thank you for joining us.
You're welcome.
Would you share your story with us?
Yeah, well, I've been sick. I got cancer.
Oh, I'm sorry.
If I'm not really feeling up to going to the store, I can make up one of these bags and then freeze it in the freezer.
Oh, so you prepare it and then freeze it.
Portion it out for myself.
It's a great idea.
That is a good idea.
How do you like the taste?
I haven't had one. That's why I'm dying to try it.
Oh, you're getting it
You're
tonight.
good. Ken, I think you'll like the convenience of this a lot because it's something that you certainly can use for daily meals because it tastes that great. So I think you make a great choice and
a good idea.
Bringing some convenience into your world.
My brother talked me into it.
He's a good guy.
He's a good guy. And Ken, we wish you the very best, okay? Thank you so much for joining
Ken.
us. And to Ken's point, Danella says, oh no, not Danella, sorry, I already answered hers. Oh, Candace said, it's also great for a week when you have a personal emergency and just can't shop.
Absolutely.
Like Ken was talking about.
Yes.
It's not just for natural disasters.
Not
and
at
yes,
all.
you're absolutely right.
Your emergency
Also,
could be you're sick or you're running out of cash or whatever it might be.
I love this. Cherise said, I have purchased twice and have used both of them. She says, tastes good. Honestly, I had to try it to see if I would like it in an emergency. This is very funny. She said, now they're gone except for one cinnamon apple cereal, LOL. Goodbye with the water purification bottle. So yes, you're right. Cherie, if you're stocking up tonight, you're getting that bottle, and we haven't done that in a long time. Already, well over 1,100 have now been ordered. That's just in our main kit. It's 128 servings, so that's enough for one person for a week and two people, no, one person for two weeks. And two people for a week.
Right, 124 total servings plus the water filtration bottle. We can't say that often enough. 5 different lunch and dinner entrees, 2 breakfast cereals, 2 types of dessert, 2 types of fruit, 2 types of veggies, and the ability to make whey milk. This is a very complete container. It's got more variety than we've ever offered with the fruits, the vegetables, the entrees, the whey milk, and of course, the water filtration bottle.
And Ted, just to answer your question really quickly, he's asking about dairy-free, gluten-free. He's got a lot of allergies. Check hsn.com or go to the Wise website, and they will have options for you if you're allergic to a lot of the things that people are allergic to.
Absolutely, Wise has thought of everything.
All right, the eggs. These things always sell out way before the end of the day. Oh, thanks, guys. Here's what we have here on hsn.com, so you can check out what we have from the Wise collection, which will be a lot. There's a lot of variety on there.
Yeah, more than you often see on air. You can check it online.
Yeah, a lot of custom picks, and that doesn't surprise us at all. This is always such a successful today's special. Excuse me, an item when we do it. So
let's talk about the powdered eggs, because these surprise me how fast they fly off the shelves. So if you're not familiar with powdered eggs, essentially all they are is eggs that need to be reactivated with water, and it's a 1-to-1 ratio. So I've got a cup of the powder, I've got a cup of the water. All I do is simply add the liquid, whisk it around a little bit, let the eggs come to the consistency they would be if I had cracked them fresh and whipped them around for a couple minutes. Once I have reconstituted the egg with water, the sky is the limit. I mean, I can use it to bake brownies, I can use it to bake corn muffins, I can use it to bake cookies, or I can scramble it up and eat it as eggs. And that's what I want to do quickly here to show you that they turn out like eggs. I mean, at first I was like, ooh, powdered eggs, really? But you know what? Here's the deal. You have been eating powdered eggs in places you didn't even know you were eating powdered eggs in the world.
Some of the nicest restaurants in the world.
Exactly. And that's just one of those restaurant secrets that exists in life, because guess what? They taste fabulous. So what I love that Wise is doing is bringing us the powdered eggs in that shelf-stable pouch with the ability to last up to 25 years. But what makes this a little bit different too is that they have also put a resealable top to this one. So once you open it, you're not going to be able to get 25 years out of it, obviously. But what I like about it is if I want to open it and, you know, maybe make a big pile of eggs, and then maybe in a couple of weeks I need to, you know, make brownies and I don't have any eggs, or I want to do something like that, the sky's the limit. Egg is a pure protein source. So no matter what you're using it for, it's there for you as protein. I mean, there are plenty of weeks in my house where we may have plenty of things in the cupboard, but it's really nothing that is a protein, or nothing's gonna fill me up. You can pick up a pack of the veggies. You can pick up the egg kit. You can pick up some fruit, and suddenly, no matter what's going on in your life, you have fruits, you have veggies, and you have eggs and protein.
And here's how you can do all this. I just want to point out both the Today's Special and the eggs and our veggies and stuff all have 5 flex pays tonight. So if you want to get it home and try it, you can actually try a few bags, and if you don't like it, you can send it back in 30 days and we'll refund your money. But with flex pay on the eggs, it's $27. With our Today's Special, I have to look, sorry, it's under $20 to test it out. Both have free shipping. Wonderful. I mean, this is the moment, because you don't know what's going to happen. It's 5 flex. So what's going to happen with your weather or your life in the next 5 months? You don't know. You really don't. It could be a whole lot of crazy stuff you thought would never happen in your life. Would I ever think I'd have to be that serious about a hurricane?
Right.
You betcha. Boy, I'll tell you, it was a shocker last year when we thought it was literally going to barrel down onto St.
There's no
Petersburg.
messing around when you get that close.
Oh my gosh, it's a scary experience. So use that FlexPay, have it at home, and the next 5 months, have it sitting there. Hey, if you don't ever have to touch it, congratulations.
Right.
We don't want you to ever have to open this up, but if you need it, you got it. So I just wanted to point out Flex on that. Also, let's see, Amy said hello from Brookings, Oregon. Hey, Amy. Jackie said this is such a great deal. Yes, it is, Miss Jackie. Okay, now, Alicia wanted to know, or Lissa, I see the water filter is good for particulates, chemicals, and heavy metals. What about bacteria?
Yes, bacteria is on the list.
There you go.
Saw that, yeah.
And I can't overemphasize how awesome it is to get the water bottle in the Today Special.
No, that's a huge deal.
It's a really, guys, I bought a straw, a filtration straw for my husband because I had to leave. I went to Tennessee because we emergency flew out here to keep the network on, right? I left my husband home. I ordered him an emergency straw.
She left him with a straw.
I did. Well, he had his wise food, though. No, but you know what?
Yes,
I had to
know.
leave him.
You had
I
to
didn't
think about
really
it.
want to leave him. I had to
know
leave him
that.
for work, right? And you know what I felt good about? I knew he had a straw if he had to drink water out of the pool or a puddle, and he had the wise food.
Right.
So even though I didn't want to leave him, and it was a terrible experience having to be apart when we knew this was barreling down on us, I at least felt more comfortable that I knew he could eat and drink.
Absolutely.
Even if something terrible happened.
Well, and the water bottle literally makes it so that you are self-sufficient within the grab-and-go bucket of the Today Special. You know, no matter what kind of water you're dealing with, as you said, puddle water, put it in there, filter it out, and you can use it to reconstitute your wise food. From your eggs to your kits to the meals.
Okay, so we have everything available now here at midnight. I highly recommend, especially the accessory pieces. You might want to think about getting those tonight before they're gone. They always sell it early. Thank you to everybody on Facebook with me. You guys had amazing questions. And Stephanie, thank you.
Good to be here.
We'll see you throughout the day. And again, stay on the line for this. You have one day to take advantage of a really awesome offer. And I can't emphasize how cool it is to have that water bottle back